Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about how I got off my prescription thyroid pills. Now, I am not off of all pills. I'll talk in a minute about what I am on, which is a natural thyroid, but it's not prescription, which is what I wanted. So let me say that I don't know how I did this while I was working. It is not easy and it's disruptive. So the best advice I can give you is do it at a time when you can handle lack of sleep, bouncing off the walls, your thyroid meds being totally out of whack. Like I said, I don't know how I did it when I was working. So I will put down below what I was using, but I was on 30 milligrams of Armour because my thyroid does not convert the T4 to T3. And I was on 0.025 milligrams, which is 25 micrograms of Levo, just to bump up my T4 just a tiny little bit. And now I will link below what I take. It is one of these, and I take it every other day. And I'll tell you how I figured that out. There's no conversion that I know of from thyroid pills to a natural glandular thyroid. It's the fun of trial and error. At first, I used to take Armour and Levo every day, every morning. And I continued doing that. And I started adding in one of these every morning until I felt over-medicated. And then I started cutting my Armour and Levo in half. I got tested and I was way high. I knew that. When you're running fast, you're way high. When you're sluggish, you are not getting enough. So I cut my Armour and Levo in quarters. You wait 2 weeks between testing. And when I say testing, at least where I'm at in Arizona, I can order my own labs. I go on to like Sonora Quest or whatever lab place you have in the area you live, and it says self-ordered tests. I just got the high-level thyroid. I didn't pay the extra. So I've got costs in here. It was about $50 to $75 with no insurance for the basic labs. Then you wait 2 weeks and you get them redone. Then you wait 2 weeks and get them redone. In the 2 weeks that you're waiting, you try to not adjust your thyroid at all. So I would order labs, I'd get the results a couple days later, and then I would adjust. Then I wait the 2 weeks. I tried to not play with the medication during that 2 weeks, even when I knew I was over or under medicated, because you want to have a clear, good reading, unless you want to start the clock again and wait another 2 weeks. For me, it was easier to stick it out, get the tests, and then adjust. So I started cutting my Armour and Levo in half, then quarters. Then I would take it every other day. So this took about a solid month. And then I was off of all the Levo and the Armour and only on this, which is a natural thyroid glandular from bovine. So Armour is a pig thyroid. This is a cow thyroid. And I was taking this every morning. I still was going too fast, and my lab results confirmed it. So I went down to every other day and got lab results, and they were good. So then what I did was I paid, I think it was around $150 for the thorough thyroid test, which tests your T3 and T4, because your thyroid can come back in range, but you don't know if that's converting properly, and it has to be converting properly. So only at the end did I pay for that extra T3, T4, $150 test. It's probably more now, and that was with insurance. So I paid $50 roughly every 2 weeks until I felt like I was right, which was this every other day. And then I paid the $150 for the final test. If I hadn't gotten it right, I would have had to do that again, but it was right. So some people ask me, they say, Elle, when you take one and then you wait 2 days, wouldn't you be better to cut it in half? And I could do. but this works well for me. I've never had an issue where I notice it's too much or too little. The half-life means that it's still in my system. And so I'm able to take it every other day and have good results. The best thing I can say is try to stick to one dose for 2 weeks and listen to your body. There was times when I couldn't sleep. I knew I was over-medicated. There was times when I was sluggish and I just wanted to do nothing or nap. I knew I was under-medicated. Listen to your body. That's the best thing that you can do. I will link these below. These are from Life Nutrition. But just to give you an idea, with my insurance, for 1 month of my Levo and Armour, I was paying $100. This is, I believe, $35 for 100 pills, and I take them every other day. So 200 days is $35. I was paying $100 a month before. So that is worth it, and to not have to rely on a doctor. Doctors can be very funny about Armour. I've had doctors that insisted, oh, you just aren't sticking it out long enough on Levo. No, I bounce off the walls. If you've ever watched Homeland and Claire Danes and having one of her manic episodes, that's how I feel. I'd walk into the bedroom and there'd be clothes everywhere, and then I'd walk into another room and I'd half started something else, and I was manic. The thyroid meds make you into a manic state if you're not converting it properly, and some people just cannot convert. Unfortunately, some doctors are trained that Armour's bad for some reason. I think it's because it comes from a natural glandular source of either the pigs or the cows, that it's not 1000% scientific, the same way as a lab-made levothyroxine. Personally, I'd rather have a natural glandular, and the amount that is off is infinitesimally small, and it might be one pill that is got 2 grains or too much or too little. That's not going to impact me. If it was the whole bottle, that could be different. But they meet a certain standard that isn't as rigid, I guess I would say, as the Levo, and that's why some doctors are against the natural. I can't convert no matter what, so I end up bouncing off the walls. No matter how little or how much Levo I have, I need Armour. And this is what does it for me. This gives me the T4 and T3. It feeds both. And when my sleep was off, it was horrible. I don't know how I did it when I was working. That's what I was saying. It was a challenge, but I'm grateful that I did it. And I no longer have to be reliant on a doctor or pay those exorbitant fees for getting my prescription every month. So I hope that helps you. If you've ever gotten off of thyroid meds, I'd love to hear about it. I have yet to do the iodine. And what iodine is, and this is just my understanding, is you can take it under your tongue, you can put it on your skin. If it disappears on your skin, you know you're low on thyroid. And so the next step, if I wanted to go down that path, would be trying to convert from thyroid to iodine and seeing how I do. I'm not ready. This is working so well for me at $35 for 200 days and no script. I'm like, oh, why rock the boat? I'm doing really good. So I'd love to hear if you've gotten off thyroid medication, prescriptions, or what you're doing for your thyroid, and share for others, because I think we all are fascinated by what's the right thing to do. And I don't think there is any right thing. I think it's what works for your body and what works for your lifestyle. There was a point in time when there's no way I could have considered getting off. I'm glad I did it while I had insurance, and I'm glad because I could get all those lab tests, even though I self-ordered them. Some of them were covered under medication. So I'm glad I did it for that reason, and I'm glad I got it out of the way. So now I'm just paying the $35 for the 200 days, and I'll link this below. I get it. It's called Allergy Research Group. I get mine through a place called Life Nutrition. They don't have it on Amazon. They have other allergy research group things, including a thyroid. It's not this natural glandular, it's some other thyroid thing. So I would be careful of ordering something off Amazon, but I just order it through Life Nutrition. I usually get two, one for each house, lasts me well over a year, and then reorder when I need it. So that's been my experience. I know I get a lot of questions when I talk, if I have one of these in my empties or I talk about getting off of my prescription thyroid. So I hope this is helpful to you, and I look forward to hearing your journey. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you next time.